Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. Today is July 7th, 2021. We're going to be taking another look at Blackberry stock. Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but just for entertainment and educational purposes. So, when we take a look at Blackberry today, we did have a red day, down just over 5%. And we could see that we just took this nosedive early in the morning and then just kind of stayed between the 11.40 to $11.60 range. So overall, of course, it's always better to have a green day than a red day. But and furthermore, if we look at the 5-day, we were hovering in the $12 range, kind of holding $12 over here pretty strongly. And then we sold off, and now we're in the mid $11 range, which, again, it's not ideal. But considering where we've been, guys, so if we look at the 1 month too, here we go. So we could see we're making lower highs and lower lows, which is, again, a negative sign. Everything is relative. So when we look, even just at the beginning of June or at the end of May, we were still in the $8 or $9 range. So, we had that massive run in the very beginning of June, and now we're just kind of moving our way back to where we were. And so the question is, are we going to go back to the $8 or $9 range and then see hopefully a big run up, or are we going to see a big fall or a big run up at basically where it's at in the $11 range at this point? So, overall, as the chart I was showing you, for the 1 month, it looks pretty bearish. The 5-day doesn't look that great, but there is some silver lining. So don't be discouraged. And again, I'm not telling you to buy or to sell or to hold. Do whatever you think you have to do. But I'm optimistic for the immediate future. And the reason is because we may be about to find a technical breakout. So we could see Blackberry, if we look at the chart, we do have what appears to be a bull flag and falling wedge pattern emerging, and we saw it. This article talks about it, and we saw it. I'll show it to you over here if I can find this. See, it's the same thing. So if this happens, the key thing to note will be we'd have to stay above $10 to see this kind of breakout. If we could stay above $10, then it looks like there is going to be a good chance for a bounce and some upward momentum, which may go up until $15, which if it could get that high, that would be fantastic. I think as long as it is able to break that 1350 resistance, which used to be our support for a while, and if we could get back into that $13.50 to $17 channel, that would be fantastic. So, if it gets to 15, wonderful. If it just breaks above 13.50, awesome. Because that's where we were hanging out for a while, and if we could hang out back there again, we could maybe even test that $17 level and then see where we could go from there. So, as we said, the chart, on the day-to-day, it's not looking super bullish, but there may be a technical breakout in store just based on the technical analysis. And as we've said before, too, Blackberry, what it really needs is a catalyst at this point because, the earnings came out last week. They weren't great. They weren't terrible. There was a bit of a sell-off, but the stock basically recovered kind of where it was before. And we've said in the past they have been making these partnership deals with Amazon and these automakers and whatnot, and that's all great. And, they're planning on selling a lot of their IP, which could generate up to $1 billion, which would be an enormously beneficial boost to the company in terms of their cash that they have on hand. But these things don't happen overnight. I think that's the issue right now, and why I'm saying we need a catalyst is because the company does have a lot going for it in the sense of those new partnerships, the deals it could be making for those IP deals to make money off of that and whatnot. And so far, there hasn't been share dilution like we've seen in other stocks like AMC. So all that stuff is fantastic and really bullish for the chart. But I think we just need some volume and some catalysts to have all those factors actually come into play and boost the stock again. And now keep in mind too, today the stock was down over 5%. All of the Reddit stocks were down today. Like AMC was down over 10%. A lot of these other stocks, all of them were down. A lot of the growth stocks were all in the negatives, like Palantir, all these other stocks you may be familiar with. A lot of them were down, even though the S&P was up a bit. So I'm optimistic. I'm still bullish. I think at this point it's kind of a waiting game to see if we can get some kind of catalyst so the stock price could start to move again. Or otherwise, I think we might just kind of hang out in the same pattern until there is such a catalyst. So let me know what you're going to do with your shares, if you're going to buy more, if you're going to sell, if you're holding, and I'll catch you in the next one.